My first body piercing obviously were ears. I remember doing that when I was like 8 years old and begging. And I remember biting my mother's keychain because I was so nervous and scared that it was going to hurt. Piercings about them, they're just kind of so momentary. The pain is just so quick and temporary, but I've had pierced things, no longer there. Hi, I'm Michelle Visage, and this is my Women's Health Body Scan. I guess superficially what I love most about my body is my booty, because even when I had no boobs, even when I was the most fit, I always had a booty. So I'd walk into the club, booty first. And that was kind of my calling card. That was my ticket. But I also love how loyal my body is to me, because I can count on it. And even when, I've had knee surgery and I've had, injuries here and there, our bodies are amazing how they can bounce back and recover. And if we treat them kindly, they'll be kind to us. Tattoos, I've probably got like 35 or 36 tattoos. I've been getting them since I was 21 years old. And they all kind of had a meaning. Like when you first get your first tattoo, it's such a big deal, especially when you're young. And my mother, who was Jewish, was like, you can't get a tattoo. You can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery, which, by the way, now you can. But back then, so I remember getting thinking it was the biggest deal that I got a treble clef tattoo on my ankle, because I'm so deeply ingrained in music, because I'm a musician. And my mother saw it, was so upset. But it's like this big, and I thought it was the biggest deal. But then I got a Native American and indigenous tattoo because I am an adopted child. And I went to find my biological mother, and I was given a packet from the adoption agency. And it's a long story, but I'm gonna make it really short. It was somebody else's packet. So I went and got this indigenous tribal tattoo. It's still on my ankle, of a Mandela, thinking I was connecting to my roots when I am indeed Italian, Hungarian, and Irish. My first body piercing obviously were ears. I remember doing that when I was like 8 years old and begging. And I remember biting my mother's keychain because I was so nervous and scared that it was going to hurt. And, piercings about them, they're just kind of so momentary. The pain is just so quick and temporary. But, I've had things pierced over the years. My body sometimes rejects, like my belly button piercing got rejected. I felt like that was a sign, so I didn't re-pierce it. I had my nose pierced like 3 times. One time I had it in for like 12 years. In the middle of the night, I pulled it out. In the morning, I went to put it back in and it had closed. So I take that usually as a sign. I've had pierced things, no longer there. And I have a very heavily pierced ear, and my other ear is just one and the little helix. So I love piercings. I think they're an incredible way to, be creative and show your art, just like tattoos. Scars are indicative of living your life, for whatever that means. I have some pretty big scars on my chest because I've explanted my breast implants after 30 years of carrying these very heavy breast implants around that were making me very, very ill. I have a documentary on Paramount Plus called Implant, where we talk about that journey. I wear the scars with pride. Not that you can see them because they are on my breasts, but it was a very big deal for me to make that decision and evict my breast implants after all those years. And I've never felt stronger about something and better about something. I feel amazing and healthier, and never been so proud to have no breasts. Explant is great because it is my story, and so many women don't know that they're sick from their breast implants, but it's not me saying don't do it. It's me trying to say we need to have more information because we've been lied to for all these years. So it needs to hold the surgeons responsible to tell their patient, this probably won't happen, but this can happen. So if you get breast implants, just know that you can possibly get an autoimmune, which happened to me. You could possibly get ALCL, which is a breast implant-caused cancer. You could possibly be fine. But we deserve the right to know what we're putting in our body and our own advocates, and that's what Explant's about. I have been a skincare junkie my whole life. I think when people think about me, they think of drag, they think of makeup, they think of nails, they think of hair, and I know a lot about those, but I really know a ton about skincare and fragrance. It's a passion. And I started like wearing sunblock and wearing eye cream at like 16, 17 years old. I would work at the mall so I can buy like good skincare products. You're never too young to start using anti-aging products, in my opinion. Obviously, it depends on your skin type and all that. But I think an important part to skincare is switching it up, not staying a devotee of one thing, because your skin does change as you age. The weather, the climate, the altitude, it all changes. So depending where I am is what I pack for. I do love all Sunday Riley products. Another skincare line that I love is Dr. Barbara Sturm. She has a lot of tightening, brightening, lifting, and I am a woman of a very certain age, and I haven't had a facelift. Yes, I like Botox, but I don't go crazy because I like to move the rest of my face. But nonetheless, that's the only thing I've done is that. I haven't done fillers. And so Dr. Barbara Sturm has a lot of things that are like right and tight. I love the Foreo cleaners that are like ultrasonic. I also love the Clarisonic. I vary back and forth. And as far as products go, my goodness, there isn't anything I haven't tried. And believe it or not, the last time I was in New York City, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning and watched an infomercial that I have seen no fewer than 150 times. And I had watched it and thought, I want to get that, and never bought it. So recently when I watched it, I actually ended up getting it. And I've been using it, and I'm not getting paid for this. And I am getting so many compliments on my skin. Now, I have good skin. My genetics play a big part of good skin. But it's the Cindy Crawford Meaningful Beauty, all the melon shit. It's actually really good. I'm a huge proponent of lip plumpers. I have tried every one on the market, and I wear them to bed. And when I wake up, my lips are so fully full and refreshed, not dry, not peeling off. My favorite of all time is City Lips. I also love Buxom. Those two I wear a lot. I've been using LifeCell recently. I get sucked into all the TikToks and the Instagram ads, and I try anything once when it comes to skincare and lip plumpers. So those are all great, and I recommend sleeping in them. Because again, you wake up and your lips are like full and beautiful and moisturized. And even if you don't get the fullness out of it, they're still moisturized. Nails have been a part of my thing. If you Google my name and put the word nails in, I used to have my nails were about 6 inches long. I was very into, how the story goes is I used to bite my nails. When I first moved to New York City, I went to college. And then when I graduated college, I got a job in the garment district. And I thought, well, now I have a paycheck. I was auditioning for Broadway shows, and that's what I wanted to do, was be an actress and a singer. And I could afford to get a manicure, so I would go once a week, regular nails. I'm not gonna stop biting my nails once and for all. And I stopped. And I stopped to the point where then I started getting silk wraps. Acrylics were, if you didn't know, illegal in New York City back then. They were banned. So I would get silk wraps, and they started growing. And I was that girl who always wanted nails like Barbra Streisand and Cher growing up, but couldn't stop biting them, couldn't get them out of my mouth. So I started letting them grow and didn't stop, and I became kind of notorious for them. If you watch the Soul System video featuring me, you'll see them. They're about that long. And when I cut them, I kept them. I have them in a little jar. I know it sounds gross, but it was 6 years of my life. So nails are very important to me. The only time I cut them was when I gave birth to my kids, because I thought, you didn't want to stick them in their little fannies. So I go every 2 to 3 weeks. I am very particular when it comes to my acrylics. I am an acrylic girl. I'm not gel. I'm not Gel X. I am acrylic, old school, and the shaping for me is everything. If you can't shape nails, I don't care what you paint on them. The shaping of the acrylic is everything. So I like to do funky. I like to do different, but I like them to be nice. Hair care has always been important to me too. I think we don't start taking care of our hair. We abuse it. We color it, we cut it, we bleach it, which is just like our hair screaming for help when we're young. And then we don't realize, again, not only does our skin age, but our scalp ages, therefore our hair follicles age, and we don't change our regimen when it comes to hair care products. There are hair care products for aging hair. And of course, hair masks and getting the right product for your hair. There's, black hair, Asian hair, it's all different and needs all different products and care. So I think it's important that we get the right product. For me, I struggled with a lot of hair loss when I have Hashimoto's disease, which is an autoimmune of the thyroid, and I didn't know all these things. And I did a deep dive and found out that the medication I was on, that one of the side effects was hair loss. So it's the main medication that they give to everybody. And one of the big side effects was hair loss. And the minute I switched, it was like my hair grew back. So there's certain things that we don't think about. And so many women suffer from hair loss. And I'm not even talking about alopecia. I'm just talking about hair loss. And it's scary for a lot of women because, of course, guy loses his hair. It's cool. He can shave his head. A woman, it's like, ugh. We gotta remove that taboo and remove the stigma, and it happens, you know? So how do we deal with it? How do we figure out? So check medications, find hair care products, you know, that can help. Just start taking care of your hair now, because you just don't know how it's gonna age and what could happen. I think for me, stress was and it still is a big thing because I have anxiety. So when an anxiety attack happens, like I used to be going to the hospital in ambulance because I would have such bad panic attacks. Until I realized how to manage them. Breathing is a big thing for me. And if you train your mind to think of something while you're having a panic attack, talk yourself. Like if I'm audibly talking, that's probably because I'm in the middle of an anxiety attack. But if you're doing something else, your body can't think about the anxiety attack. So sometimes it's good to redirect. But also I get into meditation, and not in the Katy Perry transcendental way. But I have an app called Insight Timer. There's a lot of them. Calm is another great one. But Insight Timer, I go to sleep to it every night. Also, there's one on YouTube, even better yet, called Doxy, Dauschey or something like that. And there's all ones just for you to go to sleep. Ask, believe, receive. Manifest anything while you sleep. Healing meditations while you go to sleep. They're 3 hours. And you just put it on and go to sleep. And I don't know, it really helps me unwind. And those apps are really helpful in the middle of a panic attack. I know you're thinking, oh great, yeah, Michelle, you're gonna pick up the phone and be like, I'm gonna find my app in the middle of a panic attack. But that takes your mind off of what's going on. So I find them very, very helpful. That is my de-stressor. And of course, eating.